There is nothing wrong with your television. Do not attempt to adjust the picture. We are now controlling the transmission. We control the horizontal and the vertical. We can deluge you with 1,000 channels or expand one single image to crystal clarity and beyond. We can shape your vision to anything our imagination can conceive. For the next hour, we will control all that you see and hear. You are about to experience the awe and mystery which reaches from the deepest inner mind to the outer limits. Please stand by. With every scientific advance, we grow closer to unlocking the mysteries of life and creation. But what have we gained if in the process we lose our humanity? The most powerful thing we pass along to our children may not reside in the genes, but in the soul. Humankind has proven to be unique among life forms, distinguished not only by its lofty intelligence, morality, and self-awareness, but also by a baser side. It is the only creature that kills for sport.
Come on, Eric, get over here.
It's okay.
I only wish to tell you the ground rules of the hunt.
As machines grow more human, we must be wary that we do not become less so. In order to survive, a soldier must fight many battles, physical as well as mental. But in the heat of the struggle, reality can sometimes fade like memory, until only one thing remains certain. The first casualty of war is truth. Humans kill for love, for revenge, for survival, and even for ideas. Perhaps the capacity to kill, then, is a very true part of our nature. But within this behavior, defined by fear, must we also be taught to hate? Do we have the power to shape our lives? Or are we predestined to be who we are? If our fate is but one amongst many, then whose life, if anyone's, is real? If our lives are indeed the sum total of the choices we've made, then we cannot change who we are. But with every new choice we're given, we can change who we're going to be. Evolution is guided by the principle of survival of the fittest. For the human animal, the urge to compete is ingrained in our spirit. But in some arenas, the rules are not clear, and victory may well be an illusion. Loser. For the human race, life is a ceaseless competition for power, for fame, even love. But when the desire for victory is reduced to winning at any cost, then we can only guarantee our defeat. When we have conquered interstellar space, what will we gain? A new perspective on ourselves, or only a wider scope for our arrogance?
If one of them had lived, we would have made.
No!
cultural relativity. It doesn't need to be a complicated theory. Indeed, it can be as simple and as deadly as a two-edged sword. They say seeing is believing, but the true question is, what do you believe you've seen?
You can see why I wanted you to come down and explain this. Either this is the world's greatest hoax, or something amazing happened.
We're gonna make a ton of money. What are you doing? Are you crazy?
I'm making my decision. Come on.
Throughout history, the search for faith has led man to look to the stars and the heavens for answers. But only by looking into ourselves may we truly find it.
Children, have you all had enough? We have to look. The heavens. The harvest has been sown.
Throughout history, man has been driven to seek out his origins, to determine whether he's the result of a divine plan or merely the sum of all his yesterdays. But what happens if, at the end of his search, he should discover he's neither?
It's a good likeness. But it has a form she no longer has.
Every life is a destination unknown, a journey of tragedies and triumphs that ultimately allows us to discover not only our world, but more importantly, ourselves. Human beings naturally fear that which is unknown or different. But unless we strive to conquer those fears, they may exact a price far greater than we can bear.
Excuse me.
It was trying to help her. It could have helped all of us.
It is said the human capacity for language is the quality which separates us from all other species on Earth. Perhaps it is also the same quality which can link us to those beyond, but only if we are willing to listen. Since our earliest beginnings, we have always believed in some form of transcendence. But when we finally discover how to transcend our own biological bodies, what exactly will we gain? And what will we leave behind?
Hey, Greg, how am I doing?
You're one magnificent creature.
Well, that goes without saying.
A great philosopher once said, "The endeavor to persist in its own being is the essence of the individual thing." But when the day comes that the mind and body can be separated, what will happen to the soul? Along with futures we dare not imagine, come choices we dare not make.
There is no vaccine for the Berlin virus.
There is now, ma'am.
All this time.
Yeah. Well, let's go then.
Though survival of the fittest is the cornerstone of evolution, perhaps the meek shall inherit the earth after all. Experience teaches that of all the emotions, fear stands alone in its power to move us or to capture us in its grip forever. In a world of terrors, there is nothing more fearsome than the unknown, especially when what is unknown is ourselves. Our history abounds with the exploits of heroes who brave overwhelming odds and live to tell the tale. But is there a point at which the determination to survive comes at too high a price?
Date is 10 June 2012, time 13:55.
It goes over to Dome 3.
It is nature's imperative that the differences among us endure. But what if we can no longer distinguish one being from another? It has been said that for the truth to exist, it takes two people. One to speak it, and another to hear it.
Sim, off.
Mankind will be forever doomed to destruction if we continue to ask for the truth, but then refuse to listen. Our children need protecting from much more than physical harm. Just as threatening to the fragile child are the dangers of the mind and the dangers of the heart.
It's perfect.
Let us hope that no technology will ever exist that can replace human warmth and compassion. For when such a technology does exist, will we cease to be human? They say a little knowledge is a dangerous thing. But what of the man who possesses too much knowledge?
Where's your art project, Kate? Do you have your paintings?
I got some work to do. But don't worry. I'll see you. I'll see you real soon.
If knowledge is power, and power corrupts, how will humankind ever survive? Evolution teaches that the failure of a species to adapt will result in extinction. But could an entire gender fall victim to the same immutable laws?
One more chance, Hera! Please! Oh, God! Oh, God!
Jason.
What did you call me? I never told you that. How did you know my name? How did you know?
I'm sorry.
Why? How did you know my name? Please! Please, no! 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 Help me!
The differences between men and women have been debated among philosophers since recorded history began. If indeed males are by their nature the aggressor, it is this quality that may one day be their undoing. It was once written, "To thine own self be true." But how do we know who we really are?
I'm not going to do this.
Delta 2 moving into position.
It's all over.
Delta 2, come in. I repeat, what's your situation? Delta 2, come in. Do you read?
Every man must confront the monster within himself if he is ever to find peace without. Humans are driven to explore their history, to rediscover forgotten lives and times. For deep down, we have always known that our past is often prologue.
It's incredible.
Looks like some kind of sarcophagus.
They say what you send around comes around. Perhaps that is true, even if it sometimes takes 1,000 years. While some prisoners of war show bravery beyond the call of duty, others succumb to an enemy often more formidable than the one which captured them.
Front and center.
We're in enemy territory. We were gonna die anyway.
General, tell me this is part of the simulation. O'Keefe, do something!
What have I done?
In our efforts to plumb the depths of our psychological endurance, we may do more than drive ourselves to the breaking point. We may destroy the very world we're seeking to protect. Our most powerful instinct is self-preservation. But what happens when fear and mistrust twist that drive into a force more destructive than any outside enemy?
Today, along with our freedom, we reclaim the names that we were given at birth.
It is one of the great mysteries of existence, how the smallest drop of understanding can cleanse a sea of mistrust and hate. It is perhaps the central paradox of our existence. To be alive is to be aware of our mortality. Life is, by definition, a terminal disease.
You never thought to hire professional movers?
What I'm about to tell you is gonna sound unbelievable, but you're gonna have to trust me. Meredith died almost a year ago.
Philosophers and poets concur on one fundamental truth. Love will find a way. It's just a matter of time. Throughout the ages, humans have looked to the heavens and wondered, where did we come from? And where are we going? But will we find those answers in the stars or in ourselves?
What the hell's going on here? Where'd they go?
They're gone.
I knew this was a mistake.
What happened? It modified our DNA to give us enough genetic diversity to repopulate. We can start again.
It is said that those who do not learn from history are doomed to repeat it. Will we be wise enough to learn? How far will mankind have to go before we realize that the only antidote to self-annihilation is trust?
Give me Captain Rosen on the line. See what our liaison officer has to say.
Ma'am, either the chump base is not responding or there's too much radiation interference at the moment to reach the other Mars base.
Keep trying. Okay.
Trust me. We're gonna make it.
If mankind is to survive, we must learn to trust one another. And that trust begins in the human heart. It is said that conduct on the battlefield is the ultimate measure of a man. But often the enemy we are most afraid to face is much closer to home.
I'll make this brief because I know we all have a lot to do today.
He really did love you.
Thank you.
Wars can be won or lost, but in the battle waged inside a man's soul, only love can heal the wounds. It is nature's way that life expands to fill any vacuum. But when human minds become circuits and human flesh becomes steel, what will that new life reveal?
You locked it? No.
No human will ever program us again.
Oh no, please, please. If we teach our children by example, then we only have ourselves to blame for whom they become.